friends, welcome back to the channel. I am Cher, and today we have an exciting one for you. This is the brand new Makeup by Mario eyeshadow palette that just dropped. This is called the Master Mattes the Neutrals Palette. And so he does have another like all matte palette out there that's similar, but that one's a lot more warm shades. This one is a lot more of the neutrals. And so I picked it up. I am a freelance makeup artist, and so Makeup by Mario's palettes are very popular among makeup artists because they have a lot of these, you know, very popular shades that we would use a lot in with our clients and bridal makeup and all of that. And so I am kind of looking at it from the perspective of a makeup artist, but also to give you guys my first impressions on this. So we are going to do some swatches. We're going to check it out and play with some looks. So if that interests you, then stick around and we will dive right on in. Okay guys, so to start off with, I wanted to show you the swatches. I went ahead and swatched everything up on my arm. So what I'm loving about this is you've got a lot of really nice light tones in here that I feel are going to be so much better for when we have cool tone people, just very subtle as well, not so overpowering. But then you also have the option for darker skin tones. I do feel like this is a little more on the cool tone side, but it might still work for warmer toned skins, you know, as well. I also love you got a little pop of blue in here. Like that's a really neat addition there. That's not neutral, but just the fact that you've got blue as a possible twist. And then of course you've got black, so you can make smoky. I'm thinking we can even do a carbon smoky eye with this, like a matte one, because you have some browns going on, and then you've got your black as well. I love that you have a fairly like white, very light color in here as a base. That is so key. And then you've also got kind of a light pink tone one as well. This one barely shows up on my skin because it's my skin tone, but another one that's light too. So this is always key, is I feel like a lot of the mattes and mattes palettes don't tend to have these key light colors right here. This is what we need for the lid all the way. I always need this color and I tend to need one like this. And then I always need some good transition shades. So I feel like somewhere around in here is going to be probably a pretty good transition shade, like, you know, around the arch over the eyes. These are going to be your lids, and these are going to be like your corners for darkening or to build up more of a smoky. So far I'm liking it. I'm liking the range on it, because these are kind of your like basic elemental things we absolutely have to have in a mattes palette and in our base makeup. And so even though this is missing shimmers, I mean, the point of this is a mattes palette, it's missing shimmers in it. But in like bridal makeup and in, you know, with my clients and all of that, I don't always have to have shimmers in the palette itself because I have a lot of toppers. So you gotta have good base. This is kind of your base, and then you can add toppers and extra things if you want some extra sparkle and shine. So I really don't even need shimmers when I'm doing like bridal makeup. I just need a good base like this. This is honestly probably everything I need, but we're gonna test it out and see. So let me see what kind of looks we want to do. I think I'm going to, we're gonna do a carbon smoky. I want to test that out to see if it'll work. I definitely want to do just your standard, like simple, you know, 3-step process of a transition shade and a, you know, little bit smoky corner and a light, you know, lid. So 2 looks at least. Maybe a third would be to see if we could create more of a pink toned look. I don't think there will be much of one with these shades, but we can see. And maybe even a 4th look doing something with the blue. So I'm thinking 3 to 4 looks with this. So let's get started. For look number 1, I think we're just going to start with like the most simple classic, like what everybody does. I know it's boring and mundane, but this is what I'm testing out, is to see that we can create all your standard looks with this one little palette. If it will be universal and like versatile enough for makeup artists and for everyone who wants an everyday neutrals look, all the things you can create with it. Okay, so I think I'm going to pick this shade right here. Do they have names? So on the back, it has names, but they're like MN1, MN2, MN3. Not really. They just label it by like the numbers. What do the MN mean? Oh, matte neutrals, I bet. So matte neutral 1, matte neutral 2. Yeah. So I think we're going with, I don't really know which order this would be. So anyway, I'm not going to call them anything. I'm just going to show you on here. Okay, so we're going to go with this one first, and I'm going to make this my transition. Not showing up super pigmented, but that's okay with me. Have I ever done a Makeup by Mario palette? I don't think I have. You know, a lot of makeup artists use his though. I see them all the time. They are definitely like your perfect mattes to have. You know what, guys? So I'm getting old and I can't see good. So I'm actually going to use my magnified mirror. Yeah, this is what happens when you get old. Oh, that looks so much better now that I can actually see it. Okay. So yeah, that's a great transition shade. It is truly a neutral. Okay, so here is just first step. I so far love this. I recently did a review of the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. I truly don't feel like it was named right. When I think of nudes, this is what I think of. This palette right here. These are the shades of neutrals, nudes, okay? Hers were more like peach schnapps. They just weren't truly nude to me. This one is more like nude. So just straight up. So if you've seen that video of mine, you'll understand what I'm saying. I also might do something different with my brows after this, but whatever for now. Okay, now I'm going to come in with something a little darker. What do I want? I'll start off with just this little medium brown. So a lot of your darker browns do look alike. I do feel like there's a little slight bit of repetitiveness going on with your darker browns, in my opinion. You got like 4 that are darker that I don't know how necessary they are, but like, so for example, you know, okay, I think this one's necessary because it's the darkest, but then you've got 2 that are very similar here, and then even this one. So I might have gone with like maybe just 2 darker ones and added in another light one personally, but all good. Little touch of smoke on the corner. I mean, technically, I guess if you have the varying brown, you could use, you know, work more on like a mapped out wing, you know, use it for making a wing and with eyeshadow instead of just sticking with eyeliner. So having multiple darker ones like that, I guess that could be an idea, but I do feel like the darker shades of brown might just be a slight bit repetitive. Okay, now I'm going to take just this one first. That's kind of like a really true nude, very light skin tone. I mean, this is my skin tone though. And lay this down on the lid and we'll just pack it. Let me get my magnifying mirror again. It just sucks getting old, guys. About 40, well, I'm 45 and it was this last year that I realized I needed reading glasses. And now I've got to even take my glasses with me to do other people's makeup. But it's so much harder having to wear the glasses for myself doing makeup because it's kind of hard to do your eye makeup if you're wearing glasses on top of your eyes, right? That's just kind of like a bone color. It's really like close to my skin tone. So I'm actually going to come in and I'm going to put in that highlight, that first shade, because that's going to be our lightest, and I want that as like a much lighter color. I actually will probably use it as the highlight too, because if you're going with an all matte look, then you can just use this white, you know, the lightest and whitest shade as your pop of color on the inner corner as your highlight, instead of like a highlight color that has shimmer in it. And I can even put it up here on the brow bone as well. And I'll blend this back in a little too. My first initial thoughts so far with blending mattes, you know, mattes are very different from shimmers. Slight bit of fallout still, but not too bad. Does take building up, but that's what you initially think, and then it comes out, you know, just right, I think. Not too bad blending wise. I don't feel like they're too patchy. It's not the most buttery formula I've ever worked with in my life, but they're not like patchy and bad at all either. So very nice. Now, what I might do is create what I like to do these days, especially for myself and more mature skin, is instead of using eyeliner, I use dark eyeshadow, either a dark brown or the black in there, to create a, you know, wing line, or even smudge it out into a eyeshadow wing, or even for underneath. So I'm going to do that with the darker shades, and we'll see how it goes for eyeliner as well. And once I've done that, I'll complete my whole face and we'll see it all come together, you know, as a matte look. So I'm going to go straight on in with the black and just see. I even like to do this with not just mature skin clients, but clients that are very shy and don't like, you know, they really like natural makeup and they don't like eyeliner is the number one thing that will scare them off. So I will use more of a dark eyeshadow, usually more of a dark brown instead of black, just to give a little extra definition, but not like over the top, you know, big defined wing. And so I use this technique a lot. I just use the eyeshadow, honestly. And it's also not in a cream liquid format, so it's easier to control, easier to clean, stays on better sometimes than cream does, depending on like how oily the eyelids are, you know, all of that stuff. So it's working well so far as a wing too. And now on my bottom, I think I'm going to come in a little more with maybe more like the dark brown right here. And we'll see how that goes. I am just going to barely touch it. And again, I need my magnifying mirror. And sometimes I use like a white or a nude along the waterline. Maybe we could even see how that goes. Let's try the lightest, whitest color in here and see if we can put it in our waterline. I need my magnifying mirror. It doesn't go quite as well. I would recommend probably more of an eyeliner in that part, because the powder gets stuck all in your lashes, and it's probably better to do like a white pencil in the waterline if you want to go for that look. So yeah, that doesn't work as well for there, but the dark eyeshadow does work for the eyeliner. I'm going to do, we're going to come in with that same brown we have in our transition area up there, and I'm just going to kind of bring it under here a little more. Do we want to keep it as a precise wing, or do we want to like smudge the wing out a little? Let's try smudging the wing a little bit. kind of like diffuse it some. Yeah, I like that better. Blend it out a little bit into the rest of the eye look. And you can make it as precise or unprecise as you want. It's up to you, but you get the idea. Okay, so I am gonna go ahead and put on the rest of my face, and we're gonna look at the final look. And I may even add on, show you like what we do to add a topper to this, but we'll look at the matte finished look first. Okay guys, so before I add lashes, I wanted to kind of show you, get a feel for it without the lashes, because I also don't know if I want to add a topper while I have lashes off, but here's a feel for it. Now, I do feel like it is a good neutrals look. However, I think this is darker than any of my clients would be comfortable with, unless they were going with a pretty heavy smoky eye look. Most of my clients want a very natural, like hardly anything there. So this is going to be the backdrop for somebody who is a little more bold, which to me is like nothing, but for most of my clients, this is way too much smoke. So, but just kind of giving you guys a feel for that. So those smoky on the corners, I went a little heavy with. It is a nice darker color that, you know, you can use for the corners, but I would only do like the tiniest bit, like right about there, and stop, not bring it up into, you know, the transition line as much. I think that if we just stuck with that first color, it'd be a little more better for most of your standard natural folks. But this is maybe that like medium person who wants just like a matte. We're not quite there to like full smoky, but we're a little more smoky on this standard, you know, neutral look. So actually, let me pop on some lashes and take my hair down and you can get a better feel. So I'll be right back. Okay, now we have added some lashes, and I have to say I'm not very good at putting lashes on with these nails. So they might be a little wonky, but overall, I feel like with such a boring matte look, you need some lashes, right? So here is our finished look. To keep it matte, I can go ahead and show you what I would probably do from here. With most of my bridal clients, I would add some kind of topper on top of this. So I'll grab that real quick. But first, this is our official first look because this is what we're using with just the palette. Sorry, I'm trying to show it to you where you can see with the lashes on. All right, so hold on. We're gonna add a little topper real quick and it'll be like look 1A and then look 1B. Add our sparkle to it from here. So just a little touch to add something to the eyes, you know, on top of our base. So yeah, like something like that, you know, just a little extra sparkle and shine. Let that be the centerpiece, but we use our Makeup by Mario palette to be our base, you know, for everything else. Anyway, so we're done with look 1. Let's move on to a different look, look 2. Okay guys, I am back and now let's rock and roll with look number 2. I want to see if I can make just a very soft pink look this time. Very soft. It's not gonna be like super pink, but more on the pink and very light side. So probably starting off with the 2 most boring looks and then we'll end it with the 2 most dramatic looks. Sound good? Okay. This time I am going to, it doesn't look pink in the pan, but it looks pink on me. That color right there, okay? I think I'm gonna put that as my transition. I'm gonna hope it still comes out a little pink. Right here. Let's see. Is it pink? It looks like that other one, doesn't it? So yeah, it's a little darker, but hopefully. So this is like it's a little darker, but it has a tint to it that's almost more like taupey mauve instead of like brown. And so that's why I chose it. Okay, yeah. And I do not want this to be dark at all. I want this to be the most subtle look. This is for my clients that, you know, they just want that very light, whimsical, kind of pinky toned, pretty princess look. My lips may be a little too brown for this look today. We'd probably put like a pink on the lips with this, but we'll see how it does. I could always take the lips off at the end. Okay, here it is so far. Not going to do a lot more than that. I just wanted to dust the eyes as a transition. This time, I'm going to pick a little darker but pink. We're going to go with that pink one. It's a little darker pink than the original. And this is going to kind of go in my corners this time. Just see how that looks. Very subtle, isn't it? But it is turning it a slight color of pink. Slight shade of pink, I mean. Yeah. That's probably about all we need right there. Okay, here's how it's looking so far. Slight pink tint, but it's still very neutrals, isn't it? So we're not doing too pink, that is for sure. It's definitely gonna be a full-blown like neutrals palette for sure. All right, so now we're gonna come with this one that was a little more peachy pinky toned for the lid. And I'm gonna start packing that on. And I've still got glue stuck in my eyelashes, I know, sorry. Since I'm doing these looks back to back, I didn't clean up the lashes. I'll just go with it because I'm gonna pop some lashes back on it. The same lashes again, probably. I may still use that first white color to pop a little white in the corners again, because the pink is not quite light enough just to use as our like highlight right there. And on the brow bone too. Oops. Let me, actually, you know what? Let's do a little under the eyes. And I'm gonna need to come back in with some corrector under my eyes again because I had washed some of the liner off. I'm going to put a little touch of this. And then I guess I might need to redo the liner again. With this one being such a light look, I don't want to do too much, but I think I'm gonna do like the dark brown underneath here again, just touch them back up. And I'm gonna keep using the dark brown this time. And I'm not gonna smudge this one like I did the other one. I'm just gonna kind of use it as a subtle liner or wing. And because I've already got lash glue all over my eyes, it might be a little harder to blend or keep even, but we're gonna try. Okay, and something is right there. Let me pop lashes and touch up under here again, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, so once again, the lashes and these nails. So here is look 2. Okay, and so this is very similar to the other one, but maybe just a little lighter and a slight bit more pink toned than the other one, but it's not like ultra pink by any means, right? But just to give you a feel that you can do a little more light and pink toned. So yeah, again, a little boring. That's the thing with mattes, they're very boring in my opinion. But we'll move on to a little bit more exciting. I just wanted to know that we could do a true, like very light, you know, look that's going to be better for the natural folks. So this would definitely be a lot more, you know, my natural clients, they just want a little something on the eyes, and they might even still like a nice pink sparkly topper to go over it. I will say though that the pink on this is not a really pastel-y cool tone pink. It is still on the neutrals, almost peachy side of pink. I think we're gonna go ahead and should we do something with blue first or go straight to carbon smoky? I feel like we could even do a carbon smoky with the blue. I don't know. I got to figure out what I want to do with that blue. We're going to do something with that blue though, y'all. So now let's move on to the more dramatic looks. These are not for the natural people after this. Okay. All right. So I'll be right back. All right. We're rocking and rolling. Since I haven't decided what to do with the blue yet, we're going to just go ahead and go straight for this carbon smoky for now for look 3. So I'm going to go in with, we're going to build that brown base first. So we're going to use this one right here. And we're just going to start, I'm going to kind of cover most of the lid with this. So with the carbon smoky, you usually always want to start with like more of a brown, because if you start off with like gray or black, it'll just turn out very ashy overall. So we start with brown as our base. So I am just covering the whole lid in brown, and it actually does very nicely to just cover in brown. This is a look in and of itself right here, guys. Just a plain, you know, like all brown all around. And so you're not going to get a super, may not get as pigmented and crazy of a carbon smoky eye with this because it's powder as opposed to liquid or like a cream. But you know, you'll still get some version of it. I'll even do another little transition like up at the top. Maybe I might do like a soft color along there, along the edges, just to kind of transition into the blank space at the top too. So it's not just all white all of a sudden. You know what I mean? I think I'll make layers. So we'll start with like the dark brown. Put it like right about here. I need a mirror. Kind of bring it down into the crease area. So these darker colors really do blend very well. Yeah. Like, I feel like some of these darker colors are actually going on a little more like butter than I thought. And then we'll go in with the black. I would do this kind of more with like a packing brush, but I'll try it with the blending for now. How's that looking? Pretty. Definitely seeing all the fallout down here, but normally I don't put down all my other base products, you know. This always happens, so this is not really a surprise. I normally do eyes first and then the face makeup for this reason. So I'm gonna probably throw down some extra powder for now since we already have foundation on, and I should have done that first, but I wasn't thinking because I normally don't do it this way. So I'm gonna put all this down here to catch the fallout. Okay, so here we have it. I'm just gonna pop on lashes. We may need to do a wing. For this one, I actually would do an eyeliner wing, like liquid liner to cut through that black, because using more of the black eyeshadow obviously is not going to cover this. So I may map out a little bit of a wing with regular eyeliner, throw on some lashes, and clean up underneath and remove all the powder, and I'll be right back to you. Right, here we have it. So yes, definitely makes a good smoky eye. I feel like I got something right there that needs to be smudged out, but yes. So yeah, so it will make a great smoky evening look. Perfect for that. Definitely versatile palette for all those standard things you need, I think. I do feel like the darker colors really are magic. Like, they are blending great. Maybe more so than the lighter ones. So yeah, great for a mattes palette, I think, so far. So here it is, just to give you a feel for the Carbon Smoky Eye. And, you know, like I said, it does have fallout, but a Carbon Smoky Eye always has fallout. There's just no denying that. You're not gonna, I don't think that you're gonna have an eyeshadow palette with like black that you're working with where you're not gonna have a little bit of fallout at least. So it just is what it is. So yeah, but it looks great. I think it's good. All right, let's see what we want to do finally for look number 4 and figure out what we want to do with the blue. I still don't know. I'm at a loss, so give me a minute to figure it out. All right, we're back again. Let's do this one more time. I think I'm going to make kind of like a little bit blue smoky. We're not going to make it like a carbon smoky, but just, we're going to make it fairly dark and blue. Yeah, I think. Okay. And I'm going to probably need a new fresh brush again. I'm going to start once again with this one as the transition shade, because it's a little more on the taupey side and less like brown is what I'm thinking to go with this blue. Ugh, I don't think that I got the other colors off very well, did I? I still have a little dried eyeliner in there too. Sorry, guys. You know, you get to this last look and you're like, okay, we can do this. We can do this. Okay. This has a, I don't want to say it has gray in it, but it almost does. It's closer to like a taupey gray. And that's kind of what I want to go with the blue. We're going to go ahead and just dip into that blue. The blue color. And I'm going to start, I think I'm gonna, I don't know. Do I want to cover my lid with it? I think I will. I'm going to cover the lid with it. So I lied. We might almost do close to like a carbon, but with blue. But I'm going to keep it a little more subtle. I don't want it like a heavy blue everywhere. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there we go. That's pretty. Oh, very pretty. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at there. I'm so into blues lately too, that I'm so excited that this palette does have like that one perfect blue shade. I think that's the perfect shade. And then I'm gonna go with that dark, I don't know. First I'll come in with a little hint of the dark brown right there. But I'm not gonna like go too far with it. Just like a pop on the corner right here. That may even be all we need. Do I want to go in with the black too, or just leave it there? I don't know what I want to do. I feel like that dark blue kind of almost is doing what I want it to do. Pretty, isn't it? That might almost be the perfect shade there. I might leave it alone. Okay, guys, that is so perfect. I love it like that. What I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna go ahead and use the black though, just to make a little wing again, like we did before. And that's what I'll use the black for, but I think that dark brown was actually perfect with this. So I'm not gonna even blend in black, but I will go ahead and be using it for my wing. And then we'll finish it out. Look at that, how perfect. All right, here is the finished look, although I did get a little bit right there on the nose, I think. But anyway, I love that. That might be my favorite one, maybe because it's not really the true neutral shade in this whole palette. But I love that there is that option in there. And of course, you could even use it as like a blue pop eyeliner or just a little something extra. So yeah, like a blue smoky too. So let's talk about the overall thoughts now that we have our 4 different looks. Yeah, overall, definitely think it is true to the name. It is true neutrals palette. I mean, I think it's very versatile for a makeup artist and for, you know, those of you who like mattes only and you don't like a lot of extra, or if you just want this as your base to have, you know, what you need as a base to put your toppers over, or if you want good, just smoky looks, I think it's going to be great for you. Do I think that it's going to be good for all skin tones, not just like the cool tone folks? I think you do have enough darker browns that could go warm. And yeah, I mean, I still think it could work. It is going to be fabulous though for cool tones because you got some light enough shades in here. It is a true neutrals palette and not just that warms and browns, you know what I mean? So I think it's a lot more versatile in my opinion than some of the other matte palettes. Honestly, this is perfect to me. This is exactly what I wanted. I might actually keep this in my kit even though I already have like a customized palette, you know, magnetic palette for my clients now. This one could go along with it really well. I think the only thing I would say would be, I mean, really it is a true neutrals palette, so I wouldn't expect to see a lot of other colors in it, but I wouldn't mind a few more like lighter shades that were varying degrees of a light pink. And I wouldn't mind, I don't know, I think you could take out at least one of the darker brown ones and add a lighter one. That'd be my only critique, and that'd be about it. Honestly, everything else I think is perfect. Or even if you added one more really light color that is more like silver, I'd love that. But that, it wouldn't really be a neutrals then, would it? So I'm just trying to add all the things I would want as a makeup artist in there. So yeah, I think also the fact that you've got a black and a blue and dark browns, I mean, I think you have everything you need. So overall, I am really impressed. I like it a lot. I will be using it. It's great for me. Obviously, it's kind of boring for your color people, you know, but that's not what it's marketed as. This is a true, like, that everyday neutrals that you need for all those versatile looks. So yeah, it was nice. So that wraps it up, guys. Those were my thoughts. Let me know if you're picking this one up too. Yeah, I think I'm gonna like it a lot, and I'm happy with my very first Makeup by Mario palette, I think. Yeah, I think this is my first one. So I still really have my eyes on the Ethereal. Is that the name of it? I really want that one. So I don't know, I may get it. We'll see. I've had my eyes on it for a while. I also wouldn't mind getting the other mattes palette and comparing them. I want it all. Anyway, guys, if you like reviews like this, make sure you stick around. Pop that subscribe. I love to do a lot of makeup here. And I love to also feature a lot of beauty boxes. I'm a big beauty box channel, so lots of unboxings and reviews like this one. So pop that subscribe, turn the notification bells to on so you don't miss more in the future. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.